Across a series of recent hearings, Judge Fleischer presided over probable cause determinations for 3 different defendants, and then returned to one of those defendants for a separate proceeding, raising its own distinct legal questions. So let's dive right into our first case, Michael Jones, who was charged with interference with public duties on January 10th, 2025. Mr. Jones failed to appear at his first setting on January 17th, 2025, resulting in his bond being revoked and a warrant being issued for his arrest. He was taken into custody on February 17th, and on February 19th, attorney Lisa Tichy appeared in front of Judge Fleischer to argue probable cause on Mr. Jones's behalf.
Hi, good morning, Judge. My client is Michael Jones, and he's in custody, and he's asked me to argue probable cause for him, and so I
Sure,
shall.
of course. You ready?
Yes, Judge. Does he need to be brought out, or do you? I don't know your process.
Mr. Jones, please. Yeah. It's only fair because it's his case, so we might as well bring him
No,
out.
he asked me to do this, and so I told him I would.
Yeah, this is Michael Jones.
Yes, Michael Jones.
He must be unhappy, huh?
Asked him to breathe.
Or hungry.
Asked him to breathe.
Good morning. How are you? If you're banging on the door, you got to be careful because you break something, you're gonna catch another charge. So be careful banging on those windows because they break very easily. All right. So you were Michael Jones. Mr. Jones, we're talking about you, so that's why I wanted to bring you out. It's only fair that you get to hear what's going on with your case. Your lawyer wants to challenge probable cause in this case. You're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. That's what you're charged with. I don't know. So I'm going to have them read, and we're going to do probable cause to see whether we're going to go forward or not. Okay? Okay. What happened?
On January 10, 2025, the officers in official uniforms and riding in a marked patrol vehicle were dispatched to a disturbance at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant standing outside the location, being told to leave by the resident.
A missed court appearance suddenly turns into a tense probable cause hearing as Michael Jones is brought before Judge David Fletcher. The courtroom atmosphere shifts immediately when the judge warns Jones about banging on the holding cell door, hinting at how volatile the situation already is. As the charge of interfering with public duties is read aloud, the judge prepares to determine whether police ever had legal grounds to stop him in the first place.
To which the defendant refused by verbally yelling at the resident in a loud, aggressive tone of voice. The officer announced themselves and observed the defendant begin to walk away. The officer gave the defendant a verbal command to put his hands behind his back, and the defendant pulled his hand away. The defendant refused to comply with verbal commands, and the defendant held his arms to his chest as the officer attempted to detain him. The defendant continued to refuse additional commands to stop resisting and put hands behind his back. He yelled at the officer in an aggressive tone and shouted out loud, "Don't let them take me." The officer performed a leg sweep and continued to struggle handcuffing the defendant due to him pulling away. The officer began to roll around while on the ground and reached the officer's hands to prevent him from being placed in handcuffs. The officer continued to give commands, and the defendant continued to refuse.
I get it. But what's he doing? I mean, he's walking away. That's what they wanted. Right?
So,
No.
Just losing?
So, Your Honor, in this case, to read the full dim, it was the disturbance call, and they said they observed him standing outside the above location, being told to leave, and they observed him verbally refuse, and then...
Right, but then cops get up there.
And then they observed him begin to walk away, and it says they approached Jones and observed he was intoxicated in a public place based on his slurred speech, pupil size, and...
Didn't say that.
That was in the complete dims, Your Honor. And then it
Do you know
says...
about that?
And
Yes,
aggressive
Judge,
behavior.
but
Okay,
I
go
have my
ahead.
argument prepared. Judge, my argument is exactly what you started to say. There's some sort of disturbance. Somebody's asking him to leave. They're yelling and screaming at each other. Police coming up and saying, "Hey, I'm the police."
The prosecution reads the officer's account describing a chaotic disturbance, aggressive behavior, and resistance during arrest. But defense attorney Lisa zeroes in on a critical detail the moment officers arrived. Michael Jones was already walking away. Judge Fletcher begins openly questioning the legality of the detention itself, creating a dramatic shift in the hearing as the courtroom moves from accusations of resistance to scrutiny of police authority.
You can walk away from that all day long. My client did walk away from that. My client's loud and emotional, as you can tell here today. You're allowed to walk away emotional, yelling, screaming, even using profanity in this state if you want to. Then the cops come up to him and suddenly there's some kind of unfounded allegation of intoxication. There's absolutely no facts other than that statement. I smell marijuana. You look intoxicated. Because it looks like he walked away and the cops didn't want him to walk away. And so now they need a reason to arrest him. My argument is based on if he's charged with interference with a public servant, that doesn't come until later. He has to be lawfully arrested and lawfully detained or lawfully with the police before that even occurs. Walking away when a resident tells you to leave and all you've got in your sworn statement is, we identified ourselves as police, so what? Everything that happens after that is fruit of the poisonous tree.
So they go up and they see that he possibly could be intoxicated. So does it go into a potential public intox investigation?
If it does, they need to announce that. You can't just walk up to me and say, I'm the police, stop. We don't live in that kind of society. I'm the police, I need to investigate you, so therefore stop all day long. I'm the police, we're investigating, I need you to step aside, sir, so I can investigate this matter all day long. But hey, I'm the popo.
The reasonable suspicion we have is they begin to investigate what?
So
A criminal trespass.
they're called, yes, a disturbance, and they saw him yelling, being aggressive, and then as he walked away, that's when they saw
So
signs.
the trespass investigation ceases because he's leaving.
What begins as a routine probable cause hearing turns into a direct legal showdown. Defense attorney T argues that officers escalated the encounter without lawful justification, while prosecutors insist police still had the right to investigate the disturbance. Judge Fletcher repeatedly interrupts to challenge the state's logic, pressing prosecutors on whether a person can legally be detained after already complying by leaving the property. The tension peaks as the judge signals growing skepticism toward the arrest itself.
Yes or no?
It's not specified to be a trespass, Your Honor. It's specified just to be a disturbance.
That's what it is. Okay, but it's a trespass that they're investigating a trespass, right? I mean, for all intents and purposes, isn't that what it is? The investigation begins as a trespass investigation because he's there. Homeowners asked him to leave. He's refused to leave. So cops come and he begins to leave. So at that point, all should have ceased. But the cops go up to try to...
Well, in this case, Your Honor, it would be that, yes, he attempted to leave, but once the officers arrived, so they would still need to investigate to determine if the trespass even occurred, to determine,
He's leaving.
He's walking.
He's leaving, right? It's like, here, let me come and mess with you more.
That would only...
Right? So it's like adding fuel to a fire.
But they would still have grounds to investigate, and furthermore, with the further signs of possible public intoxication, it would give them further grounds to investigate.
That's because they're going up to him to mess with him.
Well, they're going up to investigate what they saw him refusing to leave, and he
leaves.
He only left once they arrived. So with maybe potential fear of apprehension, that's when he decided to leave. Which it wouldn't undercut their ability to investigate what they had observed happen in front of them regarding that that disturbance that they were called about. They still need to figure out what happened there, and if there was a trespass to begin with.
Judge, you can't flee a trespass. The way you comply is by fleeing.
Well, we don't know it was a trespass, it was a disturbance. We don't always specify the disturbance.
I'm going to find no probable cause.
You understand?
Mr. Jones, be careful, man. We have enough drama in this life, don't we?
Yeah.
You don't like to wear orange, do you?
In a decisive moment, Judge Fletcher rules there is no probable cause against Michael Jones, effectively dismantling the state's case. The judge warns Jones to stay out of trouble before the video transitions into a breakdown of the legal reasoning behind the dismissal. The narration explains how Texas trespass and interference laws collided in this case, ultimately leading the court to conclude the detention may have been unlawful from the very beginning.
Be careful where you go. Be careful what you do.
Yes, sir.
Everyone's always out to get you, man. Don't let them. All right, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Unless you...
I didn't hear what happened.
The state charged Mr. Jones with pulling his hands away from officers who were attempting to place him in handcuffs, thereby interfering with an officer in the performance of his duties. The officers were dispatched to the location on a disturbance call after a resident asked Mr. Jones to leave, and he refused. However, by the time officers arrived, Mr. Jones had begun walking away. Defense attorney Tichy argued, and Judge Fleischer agreed that once Mr. Jones started to leave, the basis for any trespass investigation had evaporated. Under Section 30.05 of the Texas Penal Code, criminal trespass requires that a person remain on property after receiving notice to depart. If Mr. Jones was in the process of leaving when officers arrived,
The courtroom quickly pivots to an entirely different defendant, Brandon Deschamps, accused of reckless driving after allegedly speeding nearly 40 miles over the limit and making dangerous lane changes. But instead of issuing an immediate ruling, Judge Fletcher pauses the proceeding after hearing the brief allegations, suggesting the court may need a deeper examination before deciding probable cause. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.